I think I'm a great communicator. I think because I grew up in a big family where you don't even just have the siblings of different sexes, different ages and stuff, but also all their contacts and their friends and my parents' contacts and friends, I became very good at communicating and getting my point across from a very young age. So that meant that I was able to relate to people on lots of different levels, which means that, say, at a university like Bond, where we have students who are 17 and we have students who are 70, and we have students from, around the corner in Coolangatta, but you also have students from across the world in Denmark or something like that. It means you can really relate to people, and I've really found that I can relate to people at any level from any place throughout my time at Bond and just in general. Other than communication, I think I'm also very easy to get along with. So because of my communication skills, it means I can really relate to people really easily. I haven't had a whole lot of life experience, but I think because of the environment I grew up in and the community I came from and the community I sort of developed as I've gone on in life, I think I've been really able to develop a really easygoing nature with lots of people, and it means that I can make people feel comfortable pretty easily, and that means that they feel better about what they're doing with me and in general. My story is actually pretty interesting in that, I'll be blatantly honest, I basically left it in the hands of fate. When I was trying to decide at the end of year 12 what I wanted to do, I looked at my options, and my mum's a physio, and I really have always liked what she's been involved in. It's very physical, very active, very hands-on, and that was my first preference in South Australia. But halfway through the year I heard about Bond, and I was also doing legal studies, which I picked up in year 11, and I was really interested in that. And I decided that if I got a scholarship at Bond, I'd go to Bond and do law, and if I didn't, I'd do physio in Adelaide. So I literally sort of said to myself, Tessa, you have two sort of hemispheres of your brain, go with whichever one happens. And I got the scholarship at Bond, so I ended up at Bond doing law and arts. And I was gonna do law and commerce or law and business or something like that, but my brother, who's a geologist, said to me, Tessa, you're a left-hander, you're a creative person, if you do commerce, you will stab yourself in the eye. He basically said, make sure you still feed both sides of your personality. So even though you've got the law or logic side, make sure you also have that creative flair, language side to yourself as well. It's great actually, because I finished some work experience on Friday, so the past 5 days I've just been relaxing, so that's been great. Other than Christmas shopping, I think the thing I love really most to do is to catch up with friends not at uni, so really just take ourselves outside of the university community and sit in the sun or sit by the beach and have coffee, or even if it's not a really nice day, I love eating fish and chips by the beach and just sitting there and feeling the salt air, because I do miss it. And even though I do live quite close to the beach, I don't get there a lot. So I really like enjoying the community around where I live, because it is a very, I guess, cosmopolitan, it's quite youthful community as well. And I really enjoy just taking the time to sit out in the sun and have a good book and just have a few moments by myself sometimes.